What to Play presents the top 25 PS4 action games of all time, all arranged by PlayScore. To check out our full list, visit our website at whattoplay.com. You can also take part in our rankings by leaving reviews of the games that you played. If you want to become part of our growing community, we have a Patreon page. Check it out, link in the description box below.
Looks like death is not your fate. Just yet.
Number 25, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Opening our list is From Software's latest project before their elusive Elden Ring. Sekiro's samurai combat brings out the weeb in us, and hitting those perfect parries feels like playing a rhythm game disguised as a Soulsborne. Its recent update adds an even more challenging mode and some fancy costumes. A play score of 8.83. Number 24, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Senua's journey of self-discovery is both haunting and beautiful. Ninja Theory flexes their impeccable sound design with Hellblade's dynamic audio.
They're watching. Stop. Can you feel them watching?
Battling her inner demons feels like playing DMC while listening to an ASMR YouTube video. One of those rare games best played with headphones on, it receives a play score of 8.87. Number 23, NieR Automata. Yoko Taro's fourth wall-breaking action-adventure game is sure to attract all kinds of gamers. Automata's blistering combat is reminiscent of Devil May Cry. Connecting combos and taking down an army of robotic aliens alongside its ethereal soundtrack somehow feels comforting. We can't wait for Replicant. A play score of 8.93. Number 22, Dragon Age Inquisition. With the sequel definitely in the works, it's good to know that BioWare still remembers their Dragon Age series. Inquisition was Dragon Age at its most ambitious. The story took a step backward unfortunately, but its combat and semi-open world elements gave new life to this gorgeous fantasy world. A play score of 8.95. Number 21, Doom Eternal. Eternal is Doom at 100%, and this pandemonium is your little playground. Doom Guy returns, and he's bringing his arsenal of demon-killing weapons to Earth. As a one-man army, demolish the demonic hordes with style. It's one of the strongest first-person shooters out there. A play score of 8.95. Number 20, Shadow of the Colossus. Bluepoint's revival of the beloved PS2 classic gave new life to its somber tale of love and mystery. To this day, we still feel bad for stealing the souls of those poor colossi, but we gotta do what we gotta do to save the love of Wander's life. And his horse. A play score of 8.96. Number 19, Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. There's no end to Blizzard's Diablo anytime soon, now that its much-awaited fourth title is in development. Ultimate Evil Edition is the best Diablo 3 version to date. For a game built around mouse and keyboard controls, the isometric dungeon crawler works surprisingly well with a controller. A play score of 8.98. Number 18, Fallout 4.
Oh, hell no!
The post-nuclear playground from Bethesda had so much potential. It started strong and it gained a massive influx of meme communities poking fun at the game's highs and lows. It was a game we took for granted after 76's blunder, but now that the series is in Microsoft's hands, who knows what's in store in this wasteland? A play score of 9.00. Number 17, Batman Arkham Knight. The explosive finale of Rocksteady's award-winning title, Arkham Knight didn't surpass City's story, but it did improve in its combat and visuals. It's the Caped Crusader perfected, especially since he has his sidekicks helping him rid Gotham of its villainy. A play score of 9.02.
Try not to get us killed on the way there.
Number 16, Devil May Cry 5. Capcom is slowly taking over gaming this year. Resident Evil Village is months away, alongside the new Monster Hunter game for the Switch. Devil May Cry 5 is the highest point of the series. The combat is insanely responsive, the dynamic soundtrack is good for the ears, and the four main characters are memorable as ever. It receives a play score of 9.07. Number 15, Monster Hunter World. the biggest Monster Hunter game Capcom ever created if you include its final expansion, Iceborne. World introduced a ton of fresh mechanics to efficiently take down monsters and scavenge their body parts for armor. Humanely, of course. Maybe its upcoming sequel, Rise, will rise to the occasion. Who writes this stuff? A play score of 9.08. Number 14, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. A collection of everything Shovel Knight has to offer, this platformer invokes nostalgia for the classic gamers, and the selection of multiple characters has something different for everyone. This isn't just about a knight and his shovel anymore. A play score of 9.09. Number 13, Dark Souls 3. The final Dark Souls game of the series ended with a high note. The addition of their 2 DLCs, Ashes of Ariandel and The Ringed City, gave players enough content and its challenging new locations. With a play score of 9.10, Dark Souls 3 was the highest rated of the trilogy. Number 12, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Sony loves Spider-Man, so they decided to give this web-slinging newbie his standalone title. Miles Morales doesn't overstay its welcome. It feels like a AAA DLC to Insomniac's Spider-Man. Its story is self-contained, and it fleshes out Miles' character should a sequel happen anytime soon. A play score of 9.10.
The ghost. Some say he died on the beach. Others say he is a storm made flesh. When the wind thrashes their tents and boats, they know he is coming.
Number 11, Ghost of Tsushima. Jin Sakai goes full Tenchu in this beautiful open-world action game from Sucker Punch. Tsushima, with its detailed landscapes and picturesque vistas, is essentially a screenshot simulator. The gameplay isn't revolutionary, but it does give off a sense of badassery after every swing of Tenchu's blades. A play score of 9.11. Number 10, Horizon Zero Dawn. What was once part of PlayStation 4's exclusive titles has made its way to PC just recently. Despite this restructuring, Horizon's scale is unchanged. Aloy's search for answers in a broken dystopia full of metallic dinosaurs is something we've always been interested in. Who knows what Forbidden West has in store for us? A play score of 9.12.
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money.
Number 9, Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is the only version PlayStation 4 owners can access now, but a better version is available exclusively for the PlayStation 5, which includes Yuffie as a DLC character. It sucks for old-gen users, but at least we still get to experience Tetsuya Nomura's meta take on the Final Fantasy VII franchise. A play score of 9.13. Number 8, Bloodborne. The closest thing we have to a true Lovecraft game that doesn't feel half-baked. Bloodborne still relies on Dark Souls' crushing difficulty, but it does make up for its massive collection of monster-killing weapons. Being aggressive can sometimes pay off, and dodge rolling isn't as recommended compared to its previous titles. A play score of 9.17. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar's most popular series stood the test of time. It's still everyone's favorite chaotic playground where they can blow up cars, commit war crimes, and experiment with some insane mods. It's not like we care about the story at this point. A play score of 9.24. Number 6, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. There's a lot to expect around Kojima's final Metal Gear game, but despite the controversies and some major setbacks, it was still a groundbreaking stealth action adventure. It pushed Metal Gear's potential for the next generation, provided Konami actually cares about their IP. A play score of 9.25.
Yum, yum.
Number 5, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. CDPR has been in hot water ever since its Cyberpunk debacle. Thankfully, their final Witcher retains its glory. It's massive in terms of story and content, even without including its 2 major DLCs. The Wild Hunt is considered by many as one of gaming's best, and it receives a play score of 9.29.
Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything.
Number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. The story of Arthur Morgan and John Marston made grown men cry. It's the most detailed open-world action game centered around cowboys, and Rockstar wasted no time polishing everything, from realistic clouds to realistic horse testicles. It receives a play score of 9.30.
Last I checked, we're all a bunch of thieves, digging around where we shouldn't.
I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune. So, are you ready to seek your fortune?
Number 3, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Nathan Drake's final quest involves more than just dragging himself around Madagascar mud. His personal conflict was something we didn't expect in a game all about shooting and stealing treasures. Naughty Dog did a great job showcasing their narrative expertise alongside their action-packed set pieces. A play score of 9.38. Number 2, The Last of Us Remastered. If it weren't for the intense review bombing its sequel received, this original title wouldn't have been part of the list. This remastered version was built for the PS4. While there aren't any major differences except visuals, it's still the best alternative for players who want to experience Joel and Ellie's journey again, or for the first time. A play score of 9.41.
And where do you think you're going? Oh no, brother. The little freak's got a bow. What are we gonna do?
Number 1, God of War. Of course, PlayStation's king retains its crown. The winner of our community poll for Best Action Game, God of War is a revolutionary way to experience the action genre in video game format. Kratos is humanized and he's traveling around the 9 realms with his beloved
Boy.
to fulfill a dying wish.
Boy, read this. Boy, what's that say?
Mind your tongue, boy.
There's so much potential in this soft reboot and we can't wait for Ragnarok. It receives a play score of 9.53. Before we end our video, we thank these multiplayers for supporting our channel through Patreon. For just $1, you can have your name plastered on our video and get exclusive What to Play rewards. Become a certified What to Player and visit our Patreon page. Link below.